Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Gordon here with another Tech Time with Gord. Last week I covered the COVID app, so I'm going to talk about other health trackers that we can use. We're going to go over what they kind of track, the pros and cons to them, and then we'll talk about a few devices that are well known. So those who are not familiar with health tracking, basically, it's the concept of collecting data from us, so collecting various information from, how many steps we are taking, what we're putting inside our bodies, how many times I turn in my sleep. So basically, it's all data based on health, and it's giving us it provides us information that can help us in the long run. So the advantages of these are, it does provide better safety. So we get a better understanding of our body and, what's triggering us or, potential risk factors that we might have. Potentially this can also be used on a loved one, if you're not able to get in touch with them all the time or check up on them on a daily routine. Sometimes these can be great, fall trackers and all that, just in case, your loved one is prone to, falling down or has a tendency, to miss meals. It can help track that information. Uh, for you, you get more informed in regards to what's happening with yourself or again with another person. So you just understand, maybe what is occurring. So example, you might have some restless sleep during the week. And as you're kind of tracking this, you notice it's every time you have that midnight snack or have that coffee at the end of your meal. So now you're kind of well informed and go, maybe coffee is what is triggering my restless sleep. They can save money, so most of them are fairly cheap. Fitbits, you can get apps that are generally free, can save you with all those like protein shakes and maybe expensive equipment that we might not need. Better nutrition, a lot of these, and as I discussed further on, kind of talk about, um, what we're eating, what our food intake, creating food diaries. It just helps us, go watch our calorie, watch our weight, how much salt or sugar I'm taking in. And lastly, improve physical fitness. Sometimes you get goals or motivation having an app or a tracker that's doing this now. So, you might have a set goal in regards to I've got to do this many steps and next or the following day I'm going to do this many steps. So it just gives you that goal to improve your physical fitness. So when it comes to the different things that we are tracking, one big thing that most people use these health trackers for are basically for exercise, mainly in regards to like jogging and steps that we're taking. And with tracking, again, this is going to improve our overall goal. See how many steps I'm taking, how many lifts or I'm going up and down. So you can it helps you basically track your information and then you can improve upon it. So it does help promote your overall health. Um, and how to do this, you can buy the simple pedometers. Um, they can be very basic and, they're not very expensive. You can wear wearable trackers, so Fitbits are great. Other ones is you basically can just download an app, and as long as your GPS is working, it's going to basically monitor how far I'm going in a day. And then oops, this way. You can kind of see examples of different things. So wearables, Jawbone is one. Fitbit is one of the well-known ones, and we'll kind of talk about what else it can do for us. There are apps like Map My Walks, Move, MyFitnessPal, and Runkeeper. Another one for those kids out there, Pokemon Go It records the number of steps you do and then promotes it as a fun interactive game. So things like that, again, help in regards to getting some goals, getting some motivation when it comes to exercise. Next is, one, and I've kind of used this from time to time, is ones in regards to sleep. So these health trackers basically help in regards to kind of comparing, how many times I roll over. You can get, when it's a wearable, it's monitoring your heart rate and all that kind of stuff. So it can kind of give you some ideas in regards to what's going wrong in regards to your sleep cycles. So, with this, there are the Fitbits and wearable apps. You can get apps out there for it, but generally they're more in regards to like sleep trackers or what people call sleep diaries, whereas you input or record the information when you're having a bad sleep, or say, I got up at this time, between this time and this time, and then you can view the data or information to get a better idea. Well, it was every Wednesday that I'm sleeping, poorly. Now, you might find that information to be relevant as, your next door neighbor here is having a block party or something like that every Wednesday. That could be the trigger. So for examples for how you do this, again, you can wear wearables. Sleepbot or sleep cycle apps are available on your phone or tablets that, again, you can do the sleep tracking or sleep diaries. Next, and I find a lot of people use it for this as well, food and calorie intake. So basically, these apps are, again, generally they're going to be in the form of apps, not really wearables. Basically, this is going to help track what your food intakes are, and then kind of help monitor how much, if you're gaining or losing weight. So again, this is going to be in the form of an app, and you're going to record or keep track of, what you're having a day. And they're fairly good in a way that sometimes you can even scan the barcode of an item, and then it'll input and say, it has this much sugar, it has this much salt, and then basically it'll run the tab. So, it is amazing that, they are offering this so we don't have to input the data ourselves. However, there are a few out there that we do have to put in that information. So, we start putting the nutritional information in, and then it gives us an idea of, how much carbohydrates we're having in a day, or how much sugar I'm having. So, this is great, again, if you're looking to lose weight. Maybe if you have diabetes, this is a great way to, track your sugar intake. So, there are a lot of advantages to doing this health tracking. And some examples in regards to the app, Fat Secrets, Looselet, MyFitnessPal, or Spark People apps. If you are ever on one of those diets where they provide the meals, generally they will also come with an app or website that you can input the data. So it's great if you are doing it that you're also using the app or the website to keep track and monitor yourself, because again, one advantage of health tracking is the personal information that you're getting. You can observe the goals that you are doing yourself. Another one, and some people don't actually think about this when health tracking, physical fitness and all, that's one thing, but there is mental health. So the stress of things, and if you look at the picture above, so it can be a big factor, figuring out your moods, and these trackers help to kind of tell how your moods are, or how your moods are behaving, because you start tracking it based on where you're having these emotion, what kind of people you're having the emotion with, and then by again understand it, you can plot your course. So if your friends or your so-called friend is always making you angry every time you have that conversation or giving you a lot of stress. And again, you are using one of these trackers that's indicating every Tuesday I'm going to my friends, and by afterwards I'm basically, my mood is tapering off. You know, that'll give us information. Maybe I need to steer away from him or need to try to find another way to deal with this person. So, mental health is important. These are great ways to kind of track your moods. Um, Now, again, they're not in the form of a Fitbit. These are going to be on an app on your phone or tablet. I've actually tried the 2T Move tracker. And again, they're very simple apps. Usually they're emoticons, happy face, frowny face, and then you kind of give them maybe the location or who you were dealing with at that time. And as you input this information, you get more, relevant data, and then again, you can track and determine, these are the areas that I am being severely stressed out. And then with that information, then you can figure out how am I going to attack or tackle it, and then improve your overall stress and improve your happiness. Another one similar to the stress is personal goals. So, most of these health trackers are designed in a way to promote motivation and, personal goals. Again, the exercise one, if I do so many steps a day, I'm going to try to do maybe one or two more steps in the following day, and so on and so forth. So you always have a goal in mind. So these ones, they are designed to kind of track, your overall improvement on life itself. So whether it's, I'm looking for that new job, or, my goal to be happier in life. So, these are going to give you the resources. They're going to help you track and be accountable for your time. So, again, similar to some of the other apps that I've discussed, we're going to input our data saying, this is our end goal. And then every day, this is what the steps I'm going to do to accomplish my end goal. So, simple, I want that car in the next 2 years. You might have the goal of, I'm going to get some odd jobs for money, or, every week I'm going to put aside $50 or something like that. And by putting this information almost like a calendar, or, doing step one, this is what I'm going to do. Step two, I'm going to do that. It's going to make you more accountable for your actions as we progress, and then helpfully motivate you in continuing said goal. So with this, again, it's going to be another app. So the ones that are fairly good out there: Balance, Habit List, Lift or Stride apps, Life Ticks, and Mind Bloom are apps that are free out there that are well known, that would help you in regards to formatting and organizing your time. So in conclusion, in regards to that, so those are the list of things that health trackers can do. So when it comes down to devices, there are some well-known ones out there. So I'm just going to talk about the two that I would say are, the best out there. So with the Apple Watch, they do have a powerful sensor in it. So basically with the Apple Watch, and it's great too if you have an iPhone or an iMac, because you can sync everything up. But with the Apple Watch itself, basically it has built into it that you can, check your heart rate, so you can receive notifications when it's peaking. It can tell you when your heart rate is really low. If you have irregular rhythm, it will also let you know. So, this is great if you have, or, that you are at risk in regards to our heart problems. Um, It also has fall detection in regards to it. So, sudden or, you know, big jolts, it's going to be able to determine that, you are potentially on the ground. And then it will do notifications. And you can also set it up in a way that it can send out messages to other people. So, similar to the life alert bracelets or the little things around people's necks where you do fall and you can't get up, you can press a button. The Apple Watch is almost similar, where basically it can send notifications on your behalf. Um, and again, you can pair it with your iPhone and your iMac, so you can actually look and keep track of what's going on. So, the example above here, I'm looking from July 29th to August 5th, and it's showing kind of my heart rate in regards to what's going on. And by knowing this information, again, it improves our understanding of what's going on, because you can go, you know, I remember that day I was, I went for a super long jog or something like that. And you might go, well, my heart rate was so high, I might, maybe reduce how long I'm going to go on that jog or hike or whatever it is. So it just gives you that benefit of, keeping track and also improving your health as we go along. The other one is the Fitbit, and this wearable is well known. Everyone calls these little trackers Fitbits, but it's actually the name of the brand. They also have, the newer ones have the ability to do heart tracking as well, so they can kind of view your pulse. Most people use this for more of an exercise tracker, so how many steps I'm going to get in a day. Newer ones are more modified, similar to the heart tracker ones. Some will also do sleep tracker. So what this will do is we sleep with it, and it's going to notice the irregularities when it comes to our heart rate, and then how many times we're like maybe rolling and moving in bed. And then they do have the ability for some that they can do food logging, so you can input that information and keep track of, these how many steps I've done. This is technically how many calories I've lost in that day based off all my steps. And then with my food log, this is how many calories I gained, and then this is my total score, or whatever you want to call it. So, it's a great way to, again, get as much information as possible to make your ultimate or your decision in regards to your health. And finally, in conclusion, health trackers, they're becoming a lot easier to find. Back in the day, we didn't have much. We had like pedometers, and really we didn't utilize this technology as much. But as we're progressing, this information is becoming more available to us. It's making it easier to find, and it's giving us the ability to review the data ourselves. So we are becoming able to be more responsible when it comes to our personal health. But the biggest thing is learn what you want to track when it comes down to this. You don't need to know, or you might be someone who wants to know everything, but it is easier to come up with a specific goal. I want to know how many steps I'm taking, or I want to focus on my eating habits, or again, I'm not sleeping very well, I want to just focus on sleeping. So kind of try to focus on one or two, because it just makes life a little bit easier, and then you can set those motivations or those goals on this. And then if you find that you've achieved them, then you can branch out. But, basically try to stick with a few tracks. Find the device or app that best meets your needs. So, if it's just an app, it's not going to get any physical data from myself. So it's not going to regulate my heart. It's not really, you can use it for like a step tracker and all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to get as accurate as something that is attached to you. So, knowing that difference gives you that better idea. What I want to track again will kind of determine what device or app best meets your needs. If do I need to cover food and steps at the same time? If so, I might focus on this app. And then ultimately, I'm not a doctor. You've heard that. I'm not a doctor. So, review or consult from, a healthcare team or, your doctor yourself, because they'll ultimately have maybe some idea of what might best work for you. So, you can consult with them and say, I want to be more proactive. I want to monitor this self. What would you recommend? And they're there for your behalf and all that, and they'll give you a better picture because they'll have more information in regards to this. They'll go, I would say I strongly recommend trying this app, or because of heart complications, I would say you do want to have something that will monitor your heart rates, and ultimately you want to stick with it. You want to set that goal, and again, if you can just do one at a time, it makes it a little easier to stick with it than going, I'm going to try to make my life completely better, and I'm going to make sure that I eat well, I exercise, I sleep the best. That's great, but for some it is hard to do all of those at the same time. So sticking with one track is great, but overall you want to stick with your goals. So try to do them to your level. I walk this many steps a day, I'm going to do a minute more. Or, I'm going to lift weights for about 5 minutes. Maybe next one I'll do 6, and then I'll do 7, and then 10. And then once I start noticing that I'm getting really sore by the 10-minute mark, that's when I might go, that's my limit. That's as far as I'm going to go. But just baby steps is great to helping with stick with it. Having that app goal or writing down your goals will help you kind of progress, and it's great having apps and all that and recording your information, because you can watch your progress, and that will kind of help in regards to stimulate that motivation. So I hope this gave you a good information in regards to health tracking. Again, I'm not a doctor, so don't go, what should I do with this? I don't know. But these are great things in regards to health tracking that you can do. And then those apps and devices that I've talked to are well known. So, I would say check them out. Look at the reviews, read the information on them, and if it's again, it's ultimately your decision. If that is right for you, definitely try it out. And if it's not, you can always, for apps, remove it. A Fitbit, unfortunately, once you buy it, you're going to be stuck with it. So if you're buying devices or hardware, make sure that you do ultimately want that. So that concludes my Thursday Tech with Gordon. I'll look forward to next week, and I'm going to talk a little bit of the iCloud. Everyone have a nice day. Bye now.